Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we have some exciting news about the new Ahsoka novel that came out recently, written by E.K. Johnston. Now this novel is centered around Ahsoka's, adventures right after Revenge of the Sith happens, 1 year after actually, and I guess it will take place before her appearance in Rebels. And in this book, she goes by the name Ashla.
Which actually is kind of an Easter egg because in the second draft of Star Wars from 1975, the Force wasn't called the good side of the Force and the dark side of the Force. It was called the Ashla Force and the Bogan Force. Mm-hmm. So that's a little insider Easter egg for you there. So this new novel touches upon Kyber crystals and the whole lore of lightsabers and lightsaber colors and how lightsabers use Kyber crystals. In the old expanded universe, the Jedi use Kyber crystals to power lightsabers, obviously, just like they do still. Mm-hmm. But what has changed now is sort of the element that determines the color.
Yeah.
So before, basically, the Jedi mined all the crystals, and basically the crystals are naturally occurring, right? Mm-hmm. And the Jedi basically had a monopoly over control of the crystals, and so the Sith were then forced to create synthetic or man-made crystals, and that's what gave them the red color. And the red crystals also were said to have more like offensive properties, and also the Sith kind of preferred to make their own because they were in secret, and over time it just became a Sith tradition that they used synthetic Kyber crystals, and that's what gave Sith lightsabers their red color, because the naturally occurring Kyber crystals were not red.
Yeah. So now in the new expanded universe, in this one, the Kyber crystals themselves kind of choose their user, sort of like a wand in Harry Potter or something, in the sense that it'll glow and it'll emanate towards a specific Jedi. And I guess the way that works is there's a few ways to explain it. Really, is sort of, if you think about it as, I guess, some sort of spiritual thing, like the Force being some god is trying to put a Jedi towards their crystal, or I don't know if there's a way to explain it, they have a very specific Force frequency that only resonates with one specific crystal.
Yeah.
But in some sense, the crystal glows and chooses its user now. So in this canon, the Sith don't actually get their own crystal through it choosing them. They have to steal it from a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And when they steal it from the Jedi, the crystal bleeds and it makes it turn red, and that gives it its red color. But another thing apparently is that the way they explain Ahsoka's lightsabers being white is that the crystals can heal, and if they heal, it kind of gives away their color, and it makes them fade into a white color now.
Yeah.
Which is why in Rebels we see Ahsoka with white lightsabers.
Yeah, originally it was because when she reappears in Rebels, she has a white lightsaber, and it's because she's sort of renounced the Jedi Order, so she's not affiliated with any specific organization, so she has a neutral colored lightsaber, white. Mm-hmm. But now they're going a step further and offering sort of a more specific sort of nuts and bolts explanation of, it actually has to do with Kyber crystals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, actually, a lot of fans in the fan community, people who followed the expanded universe, are not happy with this.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, they're so attached to the old one. I wouldn't say it's any better or worse explanation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just what it is.
As two people who really don't have specific attachment to the expanded universe, I mean, we appreciate it and we like it, but it's not don't touch it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is the reality, is that the old canon may or may not be wiped out. So far with the Sith lore, they've been keeping most of it, actually.
Yeah, the Kyber crystals haven't been done away with. They've kept the idea of them. They've just changed it slightly to fit their narrative a bit better. The Clone Wars hasn't been gotten rid of. They've kept it as part of this new canon universe.
Yeah, and in the new Star Wars comics, they make mention of how there was a civil war between the Jedi and Sith and the Brotherhood of Darkness and stuff like that. And that's all has to do with Knights of the Old Republic and Tales of the Jedi stuff.
They kept Thrawn as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
it's pretty interesting, actually.
I guess the only question I get, we kind of had was sort of, there was ideas that the Kyber crystals could sort of run the Death Star, be the power source for it, but we're not really sure if that's something that's gonna transpire or not.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Now that they're sort of developing that the Kyber crystals are maybe sort of semi-sentient. I don't know, like they're still a crystal.
What if it's powered by all the Jedi lightsabers that Darth Vader kills and steals?
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that's like the reason why he stick around and like kill the Jedi.
But wait, wouldn't the beam be red?
Yeah, I guess so. That's kind of weird.
I don't know. Well, especially because of Rogue One coming out, everyone's wondering if they'll have Kyber crystals. We've even done an episode about this because it was said that Kyber crystals actually powered the Death Star in the old expanded universe, and this is like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Seeing as they're going with the nuts and bolts of the construction.
Yeah, now that they've actually canonized Kyber crystals, maybe we will see them in Rogue One. Yeah. And they'll explain it a bit more.
Anyway, though, I guess that's it for this video. So let us know what you guys think, if you're happy about this change or unhappy, what you would do differently, if you would keep the old one. Like I said, it's just like, I don't know, to me personally, in my opinion, I don't think it's a better or a worse idea, it's just different.
Yeah, maybe we'll hear more about it in episode 8 when Luke is explaining to, like, Rey, because she doesn't have her own lightsaber yet. You know? So, we'll find out.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.